teal for some, minute or so.
So teal is such a great color. What do you guys think?
Especially for your underwear.
Sam's favorite color is teal, so...
Oh, Lord, don't tell her about Dirk's underwear.
I won't. I don't intend to. I don't intend to at all. No.
Am I even wearing underwear? What color is my underwear?
I don't know. Mike, you're looking in his window. Was he wearing underwear?
Yeah, Mike. Look, I'm chubby. I can't see. I'm just going to pull it out. You tell me what color it is.
I gave up and left. It's cold outside.
Oh, did it get cold again? It's not that bad, you
baby.
When we woke up this morning, it was in the low 30s. I was like, what?
What time did you wake up? It was 29 when I was getting Sam ready for school.
I literally just told you what time I woke up.
Cold enough it was 30 degrees outside. That's what.
Yeah. Duh. Ouch. Whoops. I didn't break anything. All right, that's a minute.
Stuff.
That should be good. So here we go. Oh, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 696 of the Palindrome Pool. Wait, no. I think I messed that up. Is that a yeah? That palindrome's the right word for that, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll say yes.
Because we can say so, but Mike is the final authority on it.
Somehow I missed the question. What happened?
696. It's a palindrome.
Yes, palindrome the word for that?
Yes, palindrome.
Okay.
See? We were right. Mike has final authority.
Yes, he does.
696.
So I'm Chewy, and I'm just gonna run through the intro or the intros myself because we're on a time crunch here because we're losing Brian very soon for us. So I'm Chewy. I'm the guy who's always here for the for the podcast and the streaming. That's Brian over there.
Hi.
He's gonna be leaving later. Let's see, who's next? Mike? That's Mike over there. He's the final authority.
Yes.
Hi, Mike. Oh, sorry.
And then...
Not sorry.
Dirk is over there. He's the one that's apparently wearing underwear.
It's me.
If you have no idea what that's about, then you should come to the beginning of the live stream, see? Because that didn't get recorded. So... This is another look at murders at Karlov Manor, but we're going to start in a slightly different place. We're going to look at the, what did I call these? The evidence cards?
Suspects and evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah, the evidence cards.
From the Ravnica Clue edition. Yeah, which someone in the Discord just recently... described as Jumpstart with extra steps, and Mike was like, well, it's not quite, and then I looked it up and it's Jumpstart with extra steps.
In my defense, I didn't remember what Jumpstart was.
Yeah.
That is completely reasonable. Yeah.
Completely reasonable and a really good burn at the same time. So,
like on Watson
products.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many products. And this is coming from a guy who I loved the concept of Jumpstart. But, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, while we're on to burning the company What Makes Magic and its owner, there was a rumor that came from a news website, I'm doing finger quotes, that I'd never heard of, saying that Hasbro is potentially shopping around Dungeons & Dragons to Tencent.
I
10 cent.
don't know what is 10 cent.
Oh my god, you guys are just the worst.
Is that
10
the mobile
cent.
game people?
Do what?
Is that the mobile game people?
That too, yeah. The 10 cent, I described it to who was I talking to? It might have been Renee, as like Chinese Microsoft, because they're a big company that owns lots of smaller companies, and they also own pieces of lots of other large companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they own a significant portion of Riot, who makes League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, again, this is a rumor that was coming from a news website that I'd never heard of. And when I looked it up on like social media, all of the sources that everyone was talking about were this one article. So I don't know how true that is, but if they sell Dungeons and Dragons to Tencent, that's a hell of a time to switch over to Pathfinder. You know what I'm saying?
That would be just really weird.
Yeah. But anyway, I just
Is there
thought I'd throw
anybody
that out there.
Yeah, is there anybody left at Wizards to make these decisions? There's like two.
Well, that's
two
why
guys,
I said
right?
it's Hasbro that's looking to sell it.
Yeah.
Because let's not get into all the layoffs and whatnot, or else we'll just spend the whole episode trashing WotC, which I'm fine with, but I think the listeners probably want to hear more about these cards.
Yeah.
Ouch. But, much like when... I also saw today that Hulu is cracking down on... is going to start cracking down on password sharing, just like Netflix did. So, like, remember, kids, like, piracy is a thing for a reason. And that goes for Magic cards, too. If you're playing not in an official capacity, proxies are fine. Trust me on this. Oh. Jay Spencer just dropped a link in the chat. Wizards of the Coast dispels rumors that Tencent wants to gobble up D&D like a Tarrasque.
I like that.
So thank you.
Okay.
Like I said, when it came from a website I'd never heard of, I was in Clues is the one who sent it to me. I was like, I've never heard of that site. And he's like, I don't know if it's legit or not. It just seems feasible given their recent things. I was like, oh, it does. Oh. So, okay, ignore that. Apparently it was made up for clicks.
But didn't Baldur's Gate just make them an ass ton of money?
Yeah, and then they laid off like half of the people that work on D&D anyway, so...
Well, yeah, to create value for shareholders and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, why worry about long-term growth when, you can shoot yourself in the foot now?
Yeah. And then boast about your record profits after mass layoffs, like Microsoft just did after laying off some ridiculous percentage of people at Activision Blizzard. Huh.
Well, enough about, companies murdering themselves. Let's talk about fictional people.
Let's talk about other murders.
Other murders. So,
all right.
So we're looking at... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, all right, we're in white. So this is the suspects, weapons, and locations from Ravnica Clue or Cluedo edition, depending on where you're from. For those of you in places where it's called Cluedo, hi, I hope you're enjoying your healthcare system. Please enjoy it for me. All right, can I, since there's only the 2 rows, can I zoom in? No, of course I can't zoom in. That would make it too easy. All right, well, somebody read a card while I play with this. Aha.
Okay. All right. So the suspect is Apothecary White, because I think in Clue or Cluedo you have, is it Miss White and Miss Peacock and Professor Plum and all that for the various colors. So here we have
Mrs. White and Miss Scarlet and Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, I remember Mr. Green.
Mr. Body, but he's the dead guy, so he doesn't count.
Yeah.
Was that everybody?
And the game doesn't have the butler that's kind of the voice for the that moves things along in the
Mrs.
movie.
Peacock, thank you.
Yeah.
Was it Mrs. White? Was that? I think they've changed the character name several times, depending on region and like era.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So here we've got Apothecary White. For 3 and a white, this is a legendary human cleric. 3/4, so a 3/4 for 4 with vigilance. Whenever you attack, you create a food token for each player being attacked. Now, I have to be clear. This means that if you attack 3 people, you get 3 food tokens. The way it says, you create a food token for each player being attacked. It's like, you get a food token, you get a food token, you get a food token. No, you're not handing out.
Sorry, I punched you in the face. Here, have a snack.
Here's some, yeah. And she has an activated ability here. Pay a white, tap, and tap X untapped foods you control. Create X 1/1 white human creature tokens.
How does that work?
Notice that ability doesn't have any additional like white and X or anything. The only mana you pay is the single white, whether you're making 2 tokens or 20. I'm not sure what's happening flavor-wise. You're like, are you calling everybody to dinner? And everybody's like, oh yeah. But you're not actually sacking the foods. You're still holding on to them. So I think it's kind of cool, and it allows you to play kind of into a food theme where if you have other ways to get food, you don't even have to attack initially. You can make just oodles and oodles of humans with this.
It's like that annoying McDonald's commercial that has been playing in front of every YouTube video lately, where the kid's asleep and somebody is waving a McDonald's bag in front of their face. And he's like, "I'm up. You didn't say you were going to McDonald's." So, yeah, that tapping the food is waving the bag in front of someone's face, and they get up and join the battle.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But yeah, for 4 mana, this seems pretty good.
Yeah, not busted, not OP, just
and I'm always curious to see a new way to use. I don't want to say an older mechanic, but we've had food now for a little bit since the original. I can see it. Rowan and Kirith, the fairy tale place. There's too many planes. Eldraine. I kept thinking Innistrad, and that wasn't right. We've seen food since the first Eldraine set, so it's been around now for a little bit because we're old. But I'd like to see ways to incorporate some of those things in a new way, and this is kind of cool. So that's the suspect.
Real quick, it is entirely possible that this episode is going to end in just a few minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I just got a text from Renee. She was in a car accident.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked her if she needed me. She said she's trying to get her roommate to pick her up once the tow truck shows up. She said she's fine. But if she says, "Hey, I need you," then we're done immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just to warn everybody that that's a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
But okay.
And that's fine. And if I'm in the middle of talking, just be like, Brian, shut up. Good night, everybody.
Exactly.
Do you want to do the Patreon shout out?
Well, if we have to leave, then this won't be an episode, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's Apothecary White. Anything else about her, food, all that good stuff?
I've never tried her food. No. I'm trying to figure out how an apothecary translates to food.
Well, she's standing over a plate and she's pouring something into it. So is she poisoning something, or is she making it better? I don't know.
Okay, so I think all of these weapons, or at least some of these weapons are in the main set.
I know the knife was, because we talked about it, because we're like, oh look, knife.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't know if they. Chifuja says all the weapons are. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you just want to talk about this real quick, or just hit the suspects in the rooms?
I mean, the weapons won't take long. So the wrench costs a single white. I think they're all clue equipments.
Mm-hmm.
So they all pay 2 and sacrifice to draw a card. The wrench says equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance, and 3, pay 3 and tap to tap target creature. Oh, because it's a wrench. So
because it's a wrench. You're
Get it?
throwing a wrench into the plans. Yeah.
And it equips for 2. Nice and
Although
simple. Well, that was
I
it. Go
do
ahead.
like the mental image of somebody holding a wrench and coming over and just like rotating somebody and saying, "You're tapped now." I guess it depends on where you rotate them. That yeah, they probably would be tapped, wouldn't they? So, but yeah, nice and simple.
Yeah.
And hey, this loves a creature with vigilance because you can still get the +1/+1. Oh wait, it gives it vigilance too. Never mind, even better than I thought.
Even
Ha ha
better.
ha. Even better. I was looking at does this work with Apothecary? I'm like, yeah, it does, and she's got built-in vigilance, so it doesn't hurt, but yeah. Okay.
All right. So hey, here's another weapon.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do the wrench. For
I just read the wrench.
oh, you just read that? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Oh my
So
god.
do the candlestick then. Not bad. So the candlestick for a blue. It is a clue equipment. An equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature attacks, surveil 2.
Surveil 2. Wow, that's a lot of the surveil we've seen is 1 lately, so that's really good for a single blue and
Hmm.
2 to equip.
And it
It
says for 2, sacrifice a candlestick, draw a card, equip for 2.
Yeah. That is pretty
I've
good.
been seeing I've been seeing too much Star Wars lately. This really looks like a lightsaber. So,
Oh god, now I
Womp
can't.
womp plink.
I can't not see that.
there you go. And I mean that would be really good at, killing somebody. So,
Oh, I just
just
noticed.
ask all the younglings.
Look at the design around the top of the candlestick,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at Senator Peacock.
Oh yeah, the blue bobbly thingies.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I scrolled up to white, and the wrench and Apothecary White have a similar look too.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Good
Huh.
good eye. Good eye. So,
So it's Senator
but
Peacock too.
So Senator Peacock, for 3 and blue, you get a 3/4 human advisor. Artifacts you control are clues in addition to their other types, and have pay 2, sacrifice this, draw a card. That's actually pretty big. And then
Yeah.
also, added bonus, whenever you sacrifice a clue, target creature can't be blocked this turn.
Ooh.
so flavor wise, I love the fact that she's going around being like, that's a clue, that's a clue, that's a clue. Ginger Brood is like, I'm not a clue. She's like, you're a clue because I say you're a clue. So flavor wise, I'm loving that. But also from a practical standpoint, I just want to point out that something like I don't know, uh, I always look at the stupid Wormcoil engine, but Wormcoil engine having the ability pay to stack to draw a card feels kind of ridiculous. And what's the worm spine artifact thing when it comes in? You draw a card, or no? When it comes in, you like nuke a permanent or something, and then something I can see it. It looks like a Ridge of Mountains or something, but it's like when it costs
Costs like
7 when
Spine
it
of
7.
comes
Ishtar.
Spine of Ishzah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So point being, there's a lot of artifacts that will really, 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 really benefit from
Even
that.
something as simple like Ichor Wellspring or Mycosynth Wellspring.
Yes, yes, because you had to find sacrifice outlets for them before, and now you're like sack them, and not just sack them to draw a card. I thought Apothecary White was pretty cool from a Johnny perspective. This is just kind of insane. And then yeah, giving something like can't be blocked this turn, which in multiplayer is a lot stronger than picking one thing that can't block, making one thing unblockable. Whew. Yeah, this is kind of nuts.
It's also pretty cool if you've got any other, because all of your artifacts are clues. It says whenever you sacrifice a clue, not whenever you use the clue's ability.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got some other artifact sacking thing going on,
Also
then
true.
it gives you the benefit of, oh, and stuff's unblockable too.
All right, everybody, dust off your old Atogs. It's making a comeback.
Oh, Jesus. That's not funny, Brian.
I kind of meant it as a joke, but now I'm like, that could kill somebody with enough artifacts, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a Tog has been, I think, banned in Pauper for a while.
Well, this can't be played in Pauper because it's rare.
I know, I'm just saying,
but-
it's really easy to kill someone with a Tog.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just making that joke because the old thing was like, oh, everybody has like a bajillion of Togs, so therefore, But yeah. Don't underestimate free sacrifices.
All right, so black.
So black. So black. We've got the lead pipe. For a single black, equipped creature gets +2/+0, so it's a bone splitter. Although it costs 2 to equip. And has the clue pay 2, sacrifice it to draw a card. Whenever equipped creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So you give something 2 more power, but not toughness, and then it'll probably trade with something bigger, badder, and more expensive. And when it trades, each opponent, not just one, each opponent loses a life. Or if they don't want to block it or they don't want to kill it, then you're dealing 2 more damage. So, it, like the other 2 we've seen so far, this isn't like insane, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. Like the die. That's, hang on, my brain shut down. But the die's trigger is just a nice little bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Look at this dapper fellow.
What's he do, Chewy?
I don't know. Mastermind Plum for 2 and a black is a 2/2 human wizard. And he's black and purple, so he's my 2 favorite characters. Characters, colors. Whenever Mastermind Plum attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Okay. If an artifact card was exiled this way, create a treasure token. Oh. Wow, that's not bad. And whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Oh!
That's really great.
Yeah,
His
like the
stats
first
aren't
part
as-
is fine.
Yeah.
Exile, targeted graveyard hate is good stuff. And then, sometimes getting a treasure out of it, hey, nice. But using treasures means card draw? Oh.
Yeah. Seeing as how he's a 2/2 for 3, by the time he gets around to attacking, I don't know how safe he'll be, so I don't know how often the first ability will trigger. I guess it depends. In multiplayer, you're going to be like, hey, look, Mike doesn't have any creatures, so I'll attack Mike. It's just 2, and then you can go through that. But it's so easy to make treasure tokens even without this guy. So, yeah. It's nice that first part is there, just so you have a way to get treasure, but that second part, that's just kind of silly. Yes, I'll take more card draw, please.
Right?
Right.
Sadly,
Okay.
my character and weapon look very similar, sort of falls apart with Plum and the lead pipe.
I mean, you've got the floral design at the top of the pipe, and he's got that headpiece. but I'm not sure. He's clearly holding a Demir book.
Yeah. Like, if his robe had some sort of, the markings on it that the pipe did, it would be a perfect match, but it doesn't. Although the background behind him sort of does, so,
It sort of does, but it's not the, pretty clear image that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's check red and see if, sort of.
I'm not sure.
No, not really. All right, what's Scarlet do?
All right. Headliner Scarlet.
Ooh.
For 3 and a red, a 3/3 human warlock with haste. And when Headliner Scarlet enters the battlefield, creatures target player controls can't block this turn. And at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library face down. You may look at and play that card this turn.
I mean, I like this. It's just these are exactly kind of what I would expect from red, so I don't know that I have a whole lot to say. The fact that, it's creatures target player controls is in the right setup, it's just game over. It's like, all right, I have lethal with the creatures I have, and they're like, but I'm going to block, and you're like, no, none of your stuff can block. So that's strong, but neither of these, to me, I want to know what you guys think. Neither of these, to me, seem super innovative. These are just, this is what red does. So
Yeah, it's a cool red card.
yeah.
Yeah, first ability
Not everything has to be reinventing the wheel. Go ahead.
First ability is basically, oh, look, this person's dead. If things are going well. And then the second ability is just red flavored card draw, sort of, kind of. So.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it says this turn, so it is totally red flavored card draw. So, yeah, nothing fancy. It just neat.
Yeah.
And we've
Dirk,
done the knife before.
We've done the knife, but there's 2 green cards here.
Yeah, well,
So.
For the sake of completion, for a single red, the knife equips for 2, has the clue ability, and as long as it's your turn, equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has first strike.
Yeah.
Offensive only knife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which honestly, I don't mind if they move white more into that sort of category. Like that to me feels like a very red flavor of conditional first strike,
Yeah, it's very aggressive and doesn't help you on defense at all.
Exactly.
Because when it's not your turn and you're not doing anything, you put the knife behind your back.
Yeah. What you got there?
Nothing. What do you mean? Shut up. All right, then. So, green stuff.
Should be Emissary Green. So this is a human advisor that costs 4 in green, so a total of 5, and is a 3/3. And says, when Emissary Green attacks, starting with you, each player votes for profit or security. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to twice the number of profit votes. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control equal to the number of security votes.
Huh.
So one way, I win. The other way, I really win.
I like that. We've seen the voting stuff before, especially in was it one of the conspiracy sets?
That's where it started.
Yeah. So cool to see it here. I like it.
Yeah, that's
and
just
Professor Green.
Good.
Yeah. The equipment that goes in green is the rope, which for a green, quick creature gets +1/+2, has reach, and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature.
Huh.
That's cool.
Did we lose Dirk?
No, I'm here.
No.
Finish reading the card.
Oh, others. It has the other parts where 2 and sacrifice, draw a card, and equips for 3. Never mind. That's a little different.
Yeah.
That is a little different, but that's really strong. So I think I'm okay with that.
Because I feel like it has one more ability than the rest of them do.
It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's neat. Also, I just realized Emissary Green looks like he belongs in Hyrule.
In like Legend of Zelda Hyrule.
Yeah, because he's got like Triforces all over his sleeve. And the green and gold. He looks like a Hyrulean character.
Yeah.
Sorry, they don't have a deal with Nintendo yet. It's Square. I'm sure Nintendo will come shortly, though. So there's one more suspect. And he's multicolored. For some reason. I guess because why not? That's a good reason.
We're out of single colors.
But there are still just the 5 until they bring in purple.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry, Chifuji. He looks Hylian. Nerd. And he even said in the chat, Hylian pushes up glasses. So
with the middle finger, probably.
Probably. All right, somebody tell me what Colonel Mustard does, because I've been shamed for using the wrong term.
So, Commander Mustard, what is that beast in the background? Is that an ox? I don't even know what I'm looking at. But
is it an Indrik?
Maybe.
Could be.
I mean, so this is set on Ravnica because we've seen Dimir, and it's this is where the set is taking place. So clearly, this guy is Boros aligned. Commander Mustard for 3, a red and a white. For 5 mana, 5/5 legendary human soldier with vigilance. Other soldiers you control have vigilance, trample, and haste.
Jesus.
Now I feel the urge to go in together and look up commanders. Oh, not commanders, soldiers. But wait, there's more. For 2, a red and a white. Until end of turn, soldiers you control gain. Whenever this creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to defending player.
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, it costs 4, so it keeps you from doing too much else. But
yeah,
still.
I mean, creature types. Soldiers are one of the. I don't know if they're like an original creature type, but I know especially ever since when we were playing, or when I started playing, back around Onslaught, soldiers were one of the main featured creature types, and they've been
that's
around.
When they really came into their own in Onslaught.
Yeah, but they've been around for
7 ever.
I mean, at least since then. Yeah. So.
Mustard? Don't let's be silly. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like this guy. He seems fun in a aggressive Boros build. Yeah. All right then. So the lands, I'm pretty sure, are all the same. It appears that they are. They're dual lands. They enter the battlefield tapped, and you pay 4 and tap to investigate.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's 10 of them. 10 of them, and then the 10
Shocklands.
Thank you, Shocklands.
Yeah. Which I mentioned hey, we're going back to Ravnica. Are we going to see the Shocklands? Because we always see the Shocklands, and they're not in the set, but they're here, so they're still here.
Yeah, the box topper promos here.
Yeah, but they're only. I think they're only box toppers.
So that means they're not standard legal, right?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
not
know.
in the standard
Are there
set.
any other Ravnicas in standard at the moment? Standard's like 8 years not long now, right? Who knows?
Oh,
It's
well,
just
yeah.
Dirk. How old are your kids? Because it's at least as many years old as Dirk's kids. So
Oldest is a 12-year-old, and my youngest is an 8-year-old.
that's 20 years between them. Anyway, I do.
What the hell?
I do. So I do like the art though. The art on the Shocklands is beautiful. I'm looking at the breeding pool and I'm like, yeah, that's neat. But also the evocative look of the rooms where they look like the rooms in Clue.
Yeah, they
I
do
mean,
look like they've been picked up straight off of the board in the board game and
yeah.
put onto a card.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I mean, now in the board game, like you have the hallways that connect them. So I don't know that there's an exact order to these, but I kind of want to just set them all down on the table.
And I really like that the color in the art, the colors in the art match the colors that it creates. So like the ballroom is a white ballroom with black accents, and it's the black white land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the conservatory is has a black and white checkered floor, but it's a conservatory, so it's got all of the green plants in it. Just little things like that. The hall is white with red accents. I really dig how they like the art direction on these.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's even
in
a
the
secret passage.
Yeah, the black blue one. And in the Shocklands, there's a victim in every picture.
Yeah, there's I just realized that when I got to Watery Grave. I was like, hold up a minute.
Except Hollowed Fountain, there's going to be a body.
Uh-oh. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get that on screen. Oh, of course I can't. Hang on. So, yeah, you can see the shadow of the killer coming in, and there's the poor unsuspecting goober in the hot tub here.
The Azorius Senate paid for probably hot tub.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
My colors is the kitchen.
Of course it is.
It's where they cook up all the experiments.
I don't really have. Since my colors are not blue, I don't really get lands.
I have. So at this point in my Magic career, quote unquote, I don't know that I really am in. I have a favorite color or a favorite set of colors at this point. I think just playing on Arena, this may sound weird for a Johnny player, but my least favorite combination is probably blue-red, just because so much of their identity for a long time now has been just instants and sorceries. And I don't know. I guess I'm more of a permanent kind of guy. But I don't really have a favorite or least favorite. Least favorite might be that, but I've played those sorts of decks too. So one of my favorite decks on Arena right now in Standard is a mill deck, because I figured, hey, everybody's milling themselves already halfway. I'll just finish it. So yeah, but these are neat. I'm looking at the art, even for the conservatory, and just the attention to detail and the shadows from the topiaries or whatever these plants are. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
gushing, but I like it. Yeah.
So that's all of the Clue Edition cards.
Yeah.
What do we want to do now? Go back to the main set or something else? I don't know.
I would suggest either going back to the main set or just trying to hit some of the new stuff in the Commander I have to take off borderless because that shows me nothing in Commander.
Yeah, do we know who
But
the commanders are without having to go digging somewhere?
not off the top of my head, but I'm sure that information is available somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I just don't. Clearly, we didn't plan this ahead of time.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh no, it's not called Ravnica. Murders at. I did it. I typed Markov. Son of a.
Oh boy.
Karlov
Been there.
Manor Commander decks. Here we go. Deck lists. Okay. The commanders. Okay, we'll start with red white.
Okay.
So it'll be Nelly Borka and Feather Radiant Arbiter. Nelly Borka? That's a made up name.
No.
I have news for you.
What's that?
They're all made up names.
So is that Melly with an M or an N?
I mean, you think it'd be easy if you couldn't find one, you'd find the other, but
I'm still scrolling down.
no, it's Nelly with an N.
Okay.
Well,
That'd
I've
be
got
why it wasn't
Feather
in the.
on the screen, so I guess we'll do her first.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll do her first. So Feather Radiant Arbiter for a red and 2 white, is a 4/3 legendary angel with flying and lifelink. Makes sense. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell that targets only Feather Radiant Arbiter, you may choose any number of other creatures that spell could target and pay 2 for each of those creatures. And if you do, copy that spell and it hits all those creatures.
I'm honestly kind of glad to see that extra 2 cost, just because, you know.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
there's not really
and
much.
she only costs 3 mana.
Yeah, it's a very specific 3 mana, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's really not much else to say to buff her and all of your other, or a bunch of your other stuff, mana.
She's not in the right colors in Commander for Polymorph, but, you know, that's okay.
Put!
So, I found Nelly. So, Nelly Borka, not to be confused with Nelly Orca, that's a whale. Impulsive Accuser. 2, a red and a white, is
hang on
a
minute.
human.
I've got a big loading bar where Nelly would be.
Okay, let me know when it's up.
Let's see here. I can't tell what color I'm in. I'm in black. Why are you like this? Card image gallery. That's green. Is it gonna actually work this time? Hey, it worked this time! Lord have mercy.
We good?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nelly Borka, Impulsive Accuser. 2, a red and a white.
You did it.
4 mana. Yeah, that's what her pose says. 4 mana for a 2/4 with Vigilance. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Vigilance tonight. Whenever they attack, suspect, not suspend. That's something else. Suspect target creature. You did it. Then goad all suspected creatures. And goad just means that on their next turn they have to attack, right? They have to attack you?
They have to attack, and they have to attack someone other than you if they can.
Someone other than you if they can.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you. There's no
you're the only
reminder
one
text for
left.
goad.
So if
Okay.
you're the only one left, they're coming after you.
Right. But she's kind of like, you did it. And they're like, nuh-uh. I'm going to go punch Dirk to show that I didn't do it. And Dirk's like, ow. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deal combat damage to one or more of your opponents, you and the controller of those creatures each draw a card. Wow.
That is
And
some political nonsense at the
Yeah.
card table.
And they don't have to be suspects. It's just like you could ignore her first ability, although it is pretty great. Like you could just would you play a creature that says whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deals combat damage to one or more of your opponents, you and the control of those creatures draw a card? I mean, yes, because you're playing this and then you're like, "Hey, Mike, punch Dirk," and Mike's like, "Okay," and we're like, "Great, Mike, you and I draw a card."
Mike's like, why would I
Every
punch Dirk? Card draw. Bah! In the
Yeah.
in the game, Mike. In the game, like with a creature, not reach across the table.
Yeah. Everybody's happy with this except for Dirk.
Except for Dirk,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So but then Dirk can turn around and have his creatures punch Mike, and Dirk gets to draw a card, and I get to draw a card. So the first part, I mean, is a great way to incentivize them to do it, but if you like drawing cards, you're probably going to do it anyway. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I hadn't seen this one because I haven't really seen any of these, and I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the
So-
same time, I'm like, okay, I get it. So all right, go ahead.
Oh, just the card next to Nelly here is another commander.
Okay.
Morska? But I just read a card. So someone read Morska. Morska?
Yeah, that's what it says. Morska, Undersea Sleuth, is a Vidalcan fish detective. So 3 colors, green, white, blue. And that's it. Just costs 3. For a 2/3, you have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Morska, Undersea Sleuth.
Well, that's fun.
Mhm.
Wow. It's another thing where there's not much to say. Like, what the card does is very straightforward, but
Yeah.
damn. And since you're going to have a clue every turn, if you don't have another way to draw a card, you've got a way to draw a card.
Simple and efficient.
And you can even do that at like instant speed with the clue as like a combat trick. Right?
Yes.
There we go. There's just a whole lot of silence. So I asked an obvious question in the hopes that someone would say words. So yeah, that is a Vidalcan fish detective. I just realized that that's what you said. How does... You know what? I don't want to know. That's getting kind of personal, I think.
It's a Vidalcan that investigates fish.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right, so the other one in this set is Sophia the Dogged Detective, which is the Scooby-Doo card that I read at the end of I think our first Murders one. But for one, a green, white, blue, it's a 3/4 human detective. When Sophia, Dogged Detective, enters the battlefield, create Tiny, a legendary 2/2 green dog detective creature token with trample. So Sophia comes with Scooby-Doo. And you pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact token to put a +1/+1 counter on each dog you control. Which is... Since food tokens are artifacts, I'm going to say that's essentially feeding Scooby-Doo a Scooby snack. And whenever a dog you control deals combat damage to a player, you create a food token, and then you investigate. So you get a food and a clue when the dog bumps into an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Good boy or girl.
So, yeah, it's very it's very flavorfully Scooby Dooey.
Yes.
It's a shame that like investigate means create a clue, but there wasn't a word for create a food or create a treasure. Like why did a clue get its own verb?
Because I think of the set that it was introduced in, Shadows over Innistrad, it was a big part of the flavor of the set.
Yeah.
Cook.
It's too
Cook
bad
a
that cook
food?
didn't become a thing, you know.
Yeah.
Is culinate a word? Ooh.
It
Getting
is.
a little fancy.
All right, who's next? Mirko and Marvo. Okay. One of them is an octopus, so that'll be fun. Mirko and Marvo. All right, who wants to read one of those?
Still
Nope.
scrolling.
Same.
I'll do Mirko.
All right, read Mirko.
So Mirko,
Mirko?
obsessive theorist. For 1 blue-black, he's a 1/3 vampire detective
Yeah.
who has flying and vigilance. And whenever you surveil,
Surveil.
Surveil.
Okay. Surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on Mirko, obsessive theorist. At the
That's
beginning
pretty
of
good.
your end step, you may return target creature card with power less than Mirko's from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it.
Oh.
And what
There's
that means
no-
is if it would die, exile it instead.
Oh, there's reminder text on this. I was reading this one. The reminder text is on this one. I was like, I don't remember what a finality counter is, but I think that means it goes away if it dies, right? And then Dirk said that.
Said, yep.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I
And
like
because
that.
Surveil can allow you to dump stuff into your graveyard anyway, then you can just be loading it up with stuff. And you know, one of my favorite commander decks that I haven't played in a while is the red white. I feel like I'm not prepared for tonight's episode because I'm referencing stuff that I don't remember the name of. But whenever this creature attacks, you can return a creature with power and toughness 2 or less, I think, to the battlefield. And I play around with stuff like Triskavelius and other stuff that's technically like a 0/0 or whatever, but comes in with +1/+1 counters, which is where I'm going with this long story of you can do that here too. You can play stuff that you can put stuff in that has low power and toughness, but will actually come in with counters and things. They're not as small as they may seem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that took too long to articulate.
That's okay. We're used to it.
That is both heartening and disheartening at the same time.
So, all right, Mirko's fun. What's Marvo? Marvo Deep Operative. Oh, yeah.
Is that... It's an actual octopus rogue.
All right.
Wow.
So, Marvo, for 3 a blue and a black, is a 1/8, because of course it is, octopus rogue. What the hell? Whenever Marvo Deep Operative attacks, clash with defending player. What? Who even remembers Clash?
I remember it was from Lorwyn.
No. Wait, was it?
Morning
I thought it was
time.
from Morning. Yeah.
Okay, so Lorwyn block.
Ah, there you
Come
go.
on.
So, for those of you who don't remember, because why in God's name would you? The way Clash works is each clashing player reveals the top card of their library, and then puts that card on the top or the bottom, wherever they want it. And a player wins if their card had a higher mana value. So you flip it up and go, aha! And then whoever's got the higher mana value wins, and then you can put it on the top or the bottom. Nice and simple. And silly. So, when the Octopus Rogue attacks, you clash with someone, or you clash with the person you're attacking. Whenever you win a clash, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand, with mana value 8 or less without paying its mana cost.
Okay, that was a surprise.
Jesus Christ, Marvo. All right, I like Marvo. Marvo is silly and then really silly right in a row. And if you're playing, Marvo as your, let's say, commander, you've probably got a good amount of things that cost, upwards of 8 in your deck, which makes you more likely to win clashes.
And if you're in blue and black, so you might have a way like Surveil to manipulate the top of your deck.
Yeah. Yeah, Marvo is a trip.
Yeah. You can tell whenever they make octopus cards that they have fun with it.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just like, you know what? It's like Triskaidekaphobia and other things. They're like, you know what? These are fun numbers we're dealing with here. So let's just relax and have a good time with it.
Yeah. So, all right, next up are Kaust and Duskana. So, Kaust is a dryad, okay? And Duskana is a burr. So, who wants to read a card?
I'll read a card.
Read a card.
So this is Kaust. Kaust, Eyes of the Glade. Interesting that this is you've got a little bit of tricolor here going on. It's a red-white hybrid with a green mana symbol in the cost. So red-white hybrid and then green. Naya colors, but on Ravnica. Is that a tiny squirrel on his arm, or is that at first I was going to say a tiny bunny, but I think it's a squirrel. There's something on its
It looks like it has
back.
big ears.
It's some kind of funny little animal.
Yeah.
Oh, funny little animal.
So, but for 2 mana, this is a 2/2 legendary Dryad Detective. Whenever a creature you control that was turned face up this turn deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So, hey, more for disguise or anything like that, or cloaked, turn it face up, smack somebody, draw a card. And then tap, turn target face down, attacking creature you control face up, which is exactly what you'd want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I feel like it is super straightforward. Gee, I wonder what you should do with this card. That's not a bad thing. It just means for the purposes of discussion, we get it. You want to play with creature cards that can go face down. And then you should turn them up and hit them with this, probably for a lot of damage. Look at you, Croson Cloud Scraper.
He is a favorite when it comes to flipping things up for free.
He is. He's a very often cited example.
Yeah, so there's a lot you could do with this, but it's all the same thing, just in different flavors. So
yeah, exactly.
Play with morph / manifest / cloak / disguise.
Yeah.
And like it.
Turn them up. Yeah.
All right.
Only costs 2, so that's really good. That's what I got. Who's the other one?
Duskana. So
Yeah,
hey, hey Mike, read Duskana.
Yeah, Descana the Rage Mother. A legendary bear. It costs 2, a red, a green, and a white. It's 5 total. For a 5/5, when Descana enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control with base power and toughness 2/2. Then, whenever a creature you control with base power and toughness 2/2 attacks, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
Bears. Also,
I mean,
morph / manifest / cloak / disguise. Because they're all 2/2s. But also bears.
yeah. This one also tricolor, but I guess that's for the deck. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did you not notice that 2 of the others we talked about were 3-color?
I guess I didn't.
Yeah,
In my head, I think I picked on it picked up on it at the time, and then later was like, no, Brian, you're in Ravnica. So that's just me.
So is that? Oh, that's all the commanders. Okay. At least the primary and secondary commanders that come in each box.
So there's two color commander decks and 2 3-color commander decks.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yep.
Okay, now what? Chat. Any cards you want us to be sure to hit? Like Nelly Borco. I still say. Now, when I say made up name, I know all the names are made up, you jerks. I'm saying I think that character has a different name and has made up Nelly Borca
Oh, I see.
as an alias. Cause
Gotcha.
Nelly Borca, stop. Just stop.
That sounds made up, like Joe Smith or Han Solo, or Alias.
I don't think I want to know. All right.
Well, I'm looking through some of the legendary monocolors, and there's.
Wait a minute. Chat said, did you all talk about Deadly Cover Up in black? I don't know. Is that in Commander or the regular set?
I think it's in the regular set.
It is. All right. Well, let's go do that real quick. Whoop. There we go. Deadly. Let's see. White, blue, black. Deadly Cover Up. Did we talk about this? I don't think so.
No, we didn't talk about it.
All right. So I guess I'll read it. So for 3 black, it's a rare sorcery. It says, as an additional cost to cast the spell, you may collect evidence 6. So you don't have to, but you can. Destroy all creatures. Nice and simple. If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. Then search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Which is, a Wrath of God with a lobotomy.
Yeah.
But it is important to note, as Chifuji pointed out, it doesn't say non-land.
Huh.
You think that's going to be an errata? Because that feels... I mean,
That's interesting.
I guess...
Well, I mean, It's cost 5, and you got to collect evidence 6.
Yeah, so you have to really set it up. But then the ability to be like, hey, you have no more planes in your mono white deck feels. But then you have to get a planes in there.
Somehow.
Yeah. And, at this point in the game, they've probably played plenty of
They probably
planes.
have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is an
So,
interesting omission.
oh, absolutely. Certainly made us all go, huh? But
Yeah. Very weird. Very weird. I don't think I like it, but then I've never been a huge fan of lobotomy style cards.
I have actually tried to do it, especially when I was playing more competitively. I was like, oh, this is great. I remember when they made the one when Kamigawa came out, a lot of people were like, hey, look at this card and this card, and I was like, all right,
Cranial
but
extraction was like a $20 card for a while.
Crane, you're
30.
exactly. But the fact was, it just didn't do enough by itself. So, but this is a Wrath with a cranial extraction, which makes it a lot, you know,
More
makes it a lot
situational.
easier. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd say more. I'm still gonna say a lot more useful because you're pretty much always going to want to be able to have a Wrath. And maybe you want the cranial extraction, maybe you don't, but that's why you then have the option for collecting evidence.
Yeah. All right then. Oh, yeah, there's a new hunted card. You guys remember the hunted cards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
what's hunted here?
a bone brute.
So is that in black as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I liked the hunted cards. Some of them were definitely better than others. Still got a soft spot for the troll.
Yeah. So the hunted cards started in, oh god, was that Alara?
Original Ravnica.
Oh god, really?
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. So yeah, each one was an undercosted, for the most part, an undercosted creature, but they gave your opponents creatures that in some cases could, block and kill whatever yours was. So like the hunted dragon is the one everyone remembers because it was a 6/6 with haste and flying.
A 5/5 or a
Yeah.
6/6? I think it was a 6/6 for 5 with haste and flying.
Yeah, but it gave your opponent 3 2/2 knights, I think, with first strike.
Yeah, with first strike.
Yeah. So they couldn't block and kill it because it had flying, but they could, swing back at you. And there was the hunted troll, which was, I want to say, an 8/4 with regenerate that gave your
Might have been
opponent
6/4, but it only cost 4.
6/4. Okay.
Maybe.
But it gave your opponent, I think, 4/1/1 flying fairies.
Yeah.
And those were the only two that I remember. There was
The hunted
centaur?
horror was the black one.
Yeah, it just cost 2 black for a 7/7 with trample, but it made 2 3/3 centaurs with protection from black. The hunted phantasm
that was my favorite.
cost 1 blue for a 4/6 that was unblockable, and it gave your opponent 4 1/1 goblins. And the hunted Lamasu was a 5/5 with flying for 2 white, and it created a 4/4 black horror token or something.
Something like that, yeah.
I think you've got the numbers right, which is the important bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And were there a couple more?
There was just one in each color.
I meant since then. Have there been more?
I don't know. I did open up Gather, so let's see what Hunted has to say.
I feel like there was one more somewhere. something. Hunted dragon, hunted ghoul. No.
You were right about the troll. It's an 8/4.
Oh, it is
Was
an
it
8/4.
maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Was it maybe in a like a non-standard set where it was like, oh hey, look, remember the
No.
hunted card? So
I thought there was a callback. I mean, there was the hunted witness, but that's just a dice trigger that gives you a 1/1.
Yeah. So in Ikoria, there was a hunted nightmare. There was a 4/5 for 1 black, and when it enters, it has menace. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a death touch counter on the creature they control.
I think
So
that's the
it's
one I was thinking
similar.
of. That was sort of a callback because all these other hunted things don't have anything to do with that.
Yeah. And the concept is they're kind of calling back to Hunted Wumpus, which you and your opponent kind of made your own situation. For 3 and a green was a 6/6, and when it enters the battlefield, each other player may put a creature card from their hand onto the battlefield.
Yeah. But they wanted them to have less I guess variant. Be the same experience every time.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, "Oh, just give your opponents creatures." And like I enjoyed the hunted phantasm a lot. Oh, and your opponent gets
Great.
5 goblins with the hunted phantasm,
Oh, 5, okay.
which is weird because it's a 4/6. But okay. But yeah, the hunted dragon was also, I remember now, it was put into
goblins
The
versus dragons.
well, yeah, but it was put in it
Knights
was
versus
knights versus dragons. But no, it was put into
Knights.
Dragonstorm decks in case you drew one of your whichever the win condition was. What the hell was its name?
I can see
Garden
it. The help.
What was that?
Bogarden Hellkite?
Yep,
Maybe?
that was it. Yeah, he's right.
Okay. So when you Dragonstormed, you wouldn't lose. So you had like 4 Bogarden Hellkites and like 1 or 2 hunted dragons in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to go blah and then attack to win. But it was still a boo, I win. But anyway, yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to find the right screen. I have too many things open. The Hunted Bone Brute, getting back to the card to kick this whole thing off, for 2 and a black is a rare 6/2 skeleton beast with menace. So that's pretty cool. But when it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. And when Hunted Bone Brute dies, each opponent loses 3 life. But the upside is it has Disguise, so you can play it face down and then flip it up for 1 and a black to get an extra 4 damage on an opponent that didn't block it. You fool! And also they don't get the dogs that way, which is very nice.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, they're 2/1/1s. There are a lot of other ways to deal with those. It is cool that they're right there. Oh, they can block the thing with menace and kill it. That's great, but this is not. It's not going to be too hard to work around this. Either play it and then turn it face up, play it face down, turn it face up, or just kill the little doggos.
Brian.
Insert John Wick joke here. I know.
Oh my god.
Which I've never even seen, but come on, I know enough about what happens in that to be like, yeah.
Oh, the first one's really good. 2 and 3 were also really good, but the first one's really good. I haven't seen the 4th one yet. I can't remember what it's called either.
Parabellum?
I think that was 3.
I just thought
Okay.
it was John Wick 4.
It might just be John Wick 4. I honestly can't remember. Because I haven't seen it. Has Brian seen the dog tokens? I don't know. Brian, have you seen the dog tokens?
Think so?
They are adorable. That's all I remember is they're cute little puppies. They're not like dogs. They're doggos. Like ho 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 like that.
So less hound and more like dog.
Yeah. Like it's a problem.
Remember when they would, when they didn't they used to call dogs hounds?
I can't remember if the creature type was hound
Yeah.
or dog.
They used hound for a while because one of the people in charge of Magic R&D just liked that better.
I mean, I can see that. Okay, chat also said we should look at connecting the dots in red. Oh. I see why. That is pretty neat. Let's see. This seems like a Mike card? Maybe?
Oh, it is. I like this.
See?
So red rare enchantment. Here we go. Connecting dots costs 1 in a red. Whenever a creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. Reminder text, you can't look at it.
That's important reminder text.
Yes.
Don't do it.
No. But there's another ability. Pay 1 in a red, discard your hand, and sacrifice connecting the dots. Put all cards exiled with connecting the dots into their owner's hands.
That's a strange... It's a strange way to word it.
If someone else takes control of connecting the dots and exiles some cards and then sacrifices it, they wouldn't put the cards you exiled into their hand. They would just put
obviously,
cards
yeah.
they exiled into their hand. Yeah.
Because remember, kids, you cannot put cards you don't own into your hand. Own as far as the game is concerned. So cards that started in your deck. By and large. Of course, there's some exceptions here and there to cards that started in your deck as well. Looking at you, Wishes. But yeah, you can't take someone else's stuff and put it in your hand. It's not allowed. Sorry. Not sorry. Meh. Let's see. Chat said in Jumpstart 22, I think they had the change of hounds to dogs. Oh.
It's something that Mark Rosewater had been pushing for a while. Because he thought dogs made much more sense, but he wasn't in charge at the time the original decision was made.
Woof. Hounds to dogs. Oh! While we're in red, I forget. Did we look at Gearbane Orangutan? We did, didn't we?
We did.
Okay. I just remember I wanted to talk about it, but no, we did already. Did we talk about the long goodbye in black? That doesn't sound familiar.
No.
I looked at it every time we went past it, but we did not talk about it.
There's not a card called the long... Is it just long goodbye?
Yeah, long goodbye.
Oh, okay, there it is. All right, what's that do?
All right, so for 1 in a black, it's an uncommon instant. This spell can't be countered. There's reminder text. This includes by the ward ability. So there are quite a number of cards in here that have the can't be countered text, and that's so the ward given by disguise just won't be defense against absolutely everything.
Makes sense.
All right, so long goodbye, cost 2, instant, can't be countered. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less.
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? So back in the day, there was Smother and there was Swat, and one of them was for power and one was for converted mana cost. I'm trying to remember.
SWAT was power. Smother was converted mana cost.
Yeah.
And I think Smother was much more played because the converted mana cost isn't something you can really get around as easily.
Yeah, and also Smother was printed in Onslaught with all the the morph creatures running around.
Mhm.
I think SWAT also had cycling, but otherwise it was just
Didn't
a little
SWAT
too
cost
overcosted.
more?
Yeah, it was. I think it cost 3, so it was just a little too overcosted to be worth playing most of the time.
Hang on. SWAT costs 3 mana to destroy target creature with power 2 or less and cycling 2. And Smother. Come on, Gatherer. You can do it. I believe, for God's sake. Costs 1 and a black to destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. So yeah, that's just better in general. Yeah, I've got a bunch of SWATs because it's bad. So of course I got a bunch of them. Why wouldn't I have a bunch of... You know how many Smothers I have? I think maybe 1.
Same.
Long Goodbye can't target the only planeswalker in the set. I mean, that's okay. It can target a bunch of others. And a whole mess of creatures. So, it'll be fine. What else we got? Oh yeah, we did Intrude on the Mind. I used that as the background, or the thumbnail last week, because look at that art. It's so good.
Did you see
Not
that
really.
poison counters are back?
We talked about that one the week you were gone.
Yeah, because there's like 1, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Persuasive investigators or interrogators.
The Gorgons.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh, we
Yeah,
should talk about the doppelgang.
Doppelbane.
I thought that was in blue. Is that a commander card?
Doppel.
I don't see it in blue in this set.
Yeah, it must be a commander card.
Oh, it's multicolor. Oh, I thought it was mono blue. Whoops.
Oh, okay.
Be the reason why.
That would be why I can't find it in blue. Yeah. Oh, it's green blue. All right, hey Dirk, you should read Doppelgang.
Doppelgang. Oh boy. So for XXX, green blue,
So for a porn and a simic.
porn Simic, which is essentially what Simic is. I mean, they make a lot of weird creatures, so that requires a lot of.
All right, just drop that. Just drop that.
Do they have the internet on Ravnica?
You know what the internet's for?
No, but they have the Demir. The Demir is for porn.
All right. So anyway, it's a rare sorcery. For each of X target permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent.
That is such a trippy ass card.
Yeah.
Especially because if you look at the art, you'll see a bunch of what I assume are Jace Bellerins just running around in the background.
At least 2.
Yeah, I think there's the one here in the not in the foreground, but in the center. There's another one over there with a blue glow around him. There's another one on the other side with the blue glow around him. Where the flavor text is so great. Suspect spotted at the 10th Street Market. Yescu Street entrance. And the Oak Street entrance. And somehow also in Low Bar Alley. That was a vault of the Foundway Associates. I don't know who that is, but I do like that the suspect has been spotted in multiple places. But yeah, this card is trippy as hell because you can make copies of, and it gets okay. So if X is 1, then it costs 5 to just make a copy of target permanent,
Yes.
which is
That's
a
good.
little expensive, but it's fine.
Really?
I mean, clone costs 4, so.
Well, permanent can be anybody's.
Oh God, it does say
Yeah.
I missed that part.
5 is good.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then if you want to target 2 things, suddenly this jumps up to 2, 4, 6, 8 mana, but you're making 2 copies each of
each,
2 different things.
So say you target a land and a creature. Well, now you have 2 copies of that land and 2 copies of the creature.
Yeah.
Yes.
So stuff gets silly fast. Like the mana cost just ramps stupidly quickly. Like once you get to 3, you're talking 11 mana.
11.
But still,
you're getting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're getting 3 copies each of 3 different things.
Yeah, you're getting 9 token copies.
So, seems
11
good.
mana for 9 token copies is a good deal.
Yeah. If you can get it, it's a good deal. This is one of those things. It's sort of like, oh God, I'm going to start harping on capitalism again, aren't I? It's sort of like the Sam's Club thing where you can buy lots of stuff for lots of money if you can afford it, but it's a less per unit. Whereas if you're broke, like me, then you don't go to Sam's to buy the bulk and get it cheaper per unit. You have to buy it individually at like the grocery store. So like if you wanted to copy one thing with 3 different copies of Doppelgang, like the card, then you're paying 15 mana to get 3 things, which is awful compared to paying 11 mana to get 9 things. You guys know the boot theory of economics from Discworld?
I've seen it shared on Facebook many times.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it. What is it?
Like, it's from a passage in one of the Discworld novels where I don't remember the specific numbers, but like a cheap pair of boots that'll last you 6 months, let's say, costs
$10.
Costs $10. And so you're spending $20 a year on boots. But if you can afford it, then a really good pair of boots that'll last you like 3 years costs $30.
Or 50, yeah.
Or 50, or whatever.
But even still, yeah.
So it harkens back to the whole it's expensive to be poor in this country sort of thing. And that's how Doppelgang works. If you've got the money, you're going to get, or the mana, rather, you're going to get a whole lot of bang for your buck. So it's good to be rich, is what I'm saying.
This makes me think about a conversation I had with someone, I think at the shop in Hillsborough, when Rise of the Eldrazi came out. And there was that Eldrazi with the activated ability that's like, pay 20, go get however many Eldrazi you want, and
From outside the game and like put, I remember that one.
Yeah. And we were talking, he's like, I can't believe they print a card like that. It's like, that's crazy. Just pay 20 mana, win the game. And I was like, well, I mean, Fireball basically says pay 20 mana, win the game. So it's like, yeah, you got a point. So if you can come up with that much mana, you deserve to win. And that's inside the realm of how Magic works.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, okay, chat brought up the Prisoner's Dilemma. Okay, we got to talk about this before Brian leaves. Because the Prisoner's Dilemma
say
card
something, but go ahead.
Is literally the Prisoner's Dilemma, the concept.
What color is it in?
Red, in the Commander set.
All right.
Okay, well then before I move away, from the regular set, because I'm trying not to have too much stuff on the screen, I'm going to read a card, and then we'll go. And then we'll go to Ren the Commander, okay?
All right, what
This
color are you in?
I'm in green, but here's the thing. I'm going to read you the card, and then I'm going to tell you the name of the card. The card costs 2 and a green, and it's a common sorcery. Create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample.
Oh,
Put XX counters on it, where X is 2 plus the total number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are oozes or are named, and that's this card name. A deck can have any number of cards named this card name. So that's kind of cool. I like it. What was it, Relentless Rats, where you could have any number of those?
yep.
It's like that, but with oozes. But it's also the name of the card. I've scrolled past it so many times. The card is Slime Against Humanity.
Yep.
I'm just gonna let that settle in like a nice Jello mold.
Yeah,
while
since Brian was rushing, he wasn't clear on that. It's you create a 0/0, then you put X +1/+1 counters on it.
Yes.
He just said you put XX counters on it.
Sorry.
Where X is 2+ the total number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are oozes or are slimes against humanity.
And I was trying not to say the name of the card until the end, so I did it kind of awkwardly. So,
but it's like a Relentless Rats, but the Relentless Rats get bigger for the number of Relentless Rats you have on the battlefield, right?
Right.
Yeah, this gets bigger for the oozes or the slimes against humanity you have that are dead or gone.
mm-hmm.
And it's a common.
Yeah.
Which I guess in limited you sort of want to be able to get like 3 of these.
Draft table, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm real quick, I know this is not what we're talking about. I'm going to take 2 seconds for this. Mike, you've played Lorcana before. They're doing previews for the new set. One of the cards is 101 Dalmatian puppy, and you can have 99 of them in your deck. That is the joke.
Nice. Because remember, there were only 99 puppies. Then there were the 2 parents. Well, the 2 adults. They weren't all. Yeah. They didn't all come out of poor Perdita. Oh my God, that poor dog.
Yeah.
But okay, so Commander,
red.
In red.
Prisoner's Dilemma.
Prisoner's Dilemma. This is so. If you know the concept of the prisoner's why can't I say this word? Dilemma. Then you know what this card does straight up.
We even talked about the Prisoner's Dilemma in economics class when I was
of course
in college,
you did.
Because
it's one of those things. It's like it works as philosophy, economics, game theory. Like everyone that has done any sort of conceptual stuff knows the Prisoner's Dilemma. So who wants to read the card? Because I apparently can't.
I just talked about the ooze, so somebody else.
So hey, Mike, read the Prisoner's Dilemma.
All right, Prisoner's Dilemma is a red sorcery. It costs 3 red. Each opponent secretly chooses silence or snitch. Each opponent. Then the choices are revealed. If each opponent chose silence, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 4 damage to each of them. If each opponent chose snitch, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 8 damage to each of them. Otherwise, meaning there was a mix, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 12 damage to each opponent who chose silence.
That's great.
And this also has flashback of 5 red.
Yeah, in this scenario, my economics professor felt very, very strongly that you always choose the snitch option in the what would be the equivalent of you always sell out everybody else. I forget exactly what his logic was, but
that's interesting because the lesson here is that they would all be better off if they chose to be silent, even though there was an opportunity to get out, scot-free. If you said something and the other person didn't. If you both say something, then you both end up even worse.
get that, but I think his thought was you can never count on everyone else to do the right thing, and
Also,
also keeping
Mike, you got to remember it was an economics class, not like a morality class.
Well, no,
and
I'm
he
not
was
talking about the
talking.
morality of it. I'm
Oh,
talking about getting the better
Yeah,
end of it.
but he was also talking to like a class of 30 people. So what were the odds of 30 people all agreeing for the one? And here, I guess in a multiplayer game, if it's you and you're playing against 2 or 3 other people, they might all go okay. But if you're playing like 4 or 5 people, all it takes is one person being like, "Nah, I'm gonna snitch," and then nothing happens to me to be like that's it, right? That's the politics of it.
And then they have 4 people attacking them over the next round.
yeah, exactly.
What I what I really want to see is this on something like a where you can. I know it has flashback, but I'm thinking of we've been playing too long. Uh, like there's the artifact where when you play a sorcery, you exile it, and then whenever you play another sorcery, you copy everything that's on it. Right? I just want to see
Jesus,
this
you're a
decision.
monster.
I just want to see this situation come up like 12 times in a game. And just watch as people are like, "Oh my God, what do I vote for this time?" Because they
Yeah.
really don't want to take four again and again.
So yeah, the
Ah,
prisoner's dilemma is a thing where, if you've got two prisoners who are both caught doing a crime together, then they separately offer each one, a plea deal. Hey, if you snitch, then we'll go easy on you. And it's a whole big philosophical construct about which one is the right choice based on either like on the results.
Hmm.
mhm.
And so this card is yeah, it was posted in the Discord and was like, this card is literally what it says on the tin. And I read it. I was like, that's brilliant. That's literally brilliant. And it has flashback so that you can make everybody double or triple uh wait, what's the word I'm looking for? Nope, my brain just shut
I'm
off.
I'm not sure.
But
Like I want to do it
you can
multiple
make everyone
times.
second and then third guess. That's the
Second,
word I was looking for.
yes,
What
yeah.
happened last time? What I should do this time? And it's just
Hmm.
evil. I love it.
Dirk snitched last time, but if he does it again, he knows we're gonna kill him. But but Mike's at Mike's at 9 life. He can take 8, but he can't take 12. So is he just dead? Or,
Or is
yeah,
Mike going to snitch this time to avoid
yeah.
being dead?
So what this reminds me of, Veritasium did one on game theory, and it
Yeah,
was
he
about,
did the prisoner's dilemma in that video. That wasn't that long ago, was it?
no, it was a month ago.
Yeah.
I watched that and was like, wow, that is actually rather amazing. But yes, when you're going over them, going, that sounds a lot like the game theory video from Veritasium.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you are interested at all in educational, not like in the boring way, but educational YouTube content, Veritasium is right up there with the ones you should be subscribed to. Yeah, I just love that this card is a thing, like in
Hmm.
Magic now.
Does
It makes
exactly what
me
it says it's supposed to do.
yeah, and it's literally the prisoner's dilemma. It makes me so happy. Chifuji said the Zero Escape video games do a great job adapting the prisoner's dilemma to a narrative. I think I own those and have never played them because I got them in a bundle because of course I did. Interesting. It's like the nonary games and I forget what the other one's called. Zero Time Dilemma. There we go. Yeah, I've got those two. I feel like there was a third one. Anyway,
Well, gentlemen, I need to go.
yeah.
And so it's a little past when I thought I was going to go, but I've been having such a good time. But, my work is like actually going to spill over onto the keyboard. So, but this
Kinky.
was a great one to end on. Holy crap. I mean, we've talked a lot, and I know we've said this before. We're not super happy with the company, but the design team keeps pulling it out. So good on them. This is that's just awesome, and the fact that it's kind of like Defenestrate, where most people are like, oh, that's kind of a weird name, but when you get it, you're like, ha 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 ha, like I see what you did there. It's like the whole Lord of the Rings set that they did, so there's so much here that you're like, oh, this is the perfect example of it. It's also a really good freaking card, so I love it. So this is a good one for me to go out on. You guys are welcome to keep talking if you want, or do what you need to do. But I'm going to say, for my final thought, I hope everybody's doing well. Don't go on the Twitter and defame people, or you might owe millions and millions of dollars. But, hey, maybe you deserve it. So, anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that. Everybody out there, be good and be safe and treat each other well.
Yeah.
Is really all I got.
There's a reason that my 2 rules are Rule 1, no dying. Rule 2, don't be a dick.
Yeah. If you just kind of go by those rules, you'll probably be okay. Rule number 1 is still rule number 1. But yeah. All right. I'm going to see you one of you guys over the weekend. Everybody else have a good night.
The rest of us can piss off.
Yep.
Night, Brian. All right. So chat has the first game was 999. Now 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I thought that was a zero escape game, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, chat has requested a card in white in the main game, or the main game. Sorry, I was playing Resident Evil 4 and have to specify main game or DLC. In the base set. Now I'm checking to see if I have the 9. I don't have that either. Unless it's included with one of the other games on Steam. Anyway, the 10th District Hero is
white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is really cool. Let's see. Who didn't read? Derek, you haven't read a card in a hot minute.
Okay. So 10th District Hero for 1 in white. It's a 2/3 human that's rare. For
Get a job.
Do what?
So get a job. He's just a human.
Yeah, with nothing else. For 1 in a white, collect evidence 2. 10th District Hero becomes a human detective with base power and toughness 4/4 and gains vigilance. So you did get a job.
Yeah, that's. So this is already reminiscent of our Figure of Destiny.
Brum, 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 brum. And then we got for 2 in a white, collect evidence 4. If 10th District Hero is a detective, it becomes a legendary creature named Maleva.
Sure.
The Steward. It has base power and toughness 5/5, and it gains other creatures you control have indestructible.
So chat is pointing out that this 10th District person, she has had 3 prior cards across the across the Ravnica blocks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. What are you talking about, chat? And I will go look that up. But as far as this one goes, this is pretty cool. Cause, hang on now, I have too many things open again. So I mean, a 2-mana 2/3 is already pretty good, especially since there's only 1 colored mana in that. Like, you remember Elvish Hero?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? No. Doesn't matter. And then with just a quick little 2 mana and a simple evidence collecting, boom, 4/4 vigilance. Nice. And then with a little bit more mana and a slightly less simple evidence collecting, you get Maliva the Stalwart, who becomes a 5/5 and makes your other stuff indestructible, which is just completely insane. So here we go. This started with, I guess, 10th District Guard in, what set is that? Guilds of Ravnica. Oh, let me move this to my other... Hang on, 1 second. No, where'd it go? Oh my god. Why are things so difficult? Take this tab and put it in that window. There we go. Lord have mercy. So yeah, the 10th District Guard was a common in Guilds of Ravnica. 2/2 and enters the battlefield, gives something else +0/+1 until end of turn. Or gives something +0/+1 until end of turn. Then the Legionnaire in War of the Spark. Wait, no. Which came first, War of the Spark or Ravnica Allegiance?
Ravnica Allegiance.
Okay, so that would be 10th District Veteran. When she attacks, untap another target creature you control. Then the 10th District Legionnaire in War of the Spark. Oh, because she joined the Boros League proper, I guess. Is a 2/2 with haste. And whenever you cast a spell that targets the 10th District Legionnaire, you put a +1/+1 counter on her, then scry 1. Oh, the flavor text is where it all comes together. Well, piss. All right, hang on. Let me get a different view. Visual spoiler. Now. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So 10th District Guard. The 10th has always been my home. The city is constantly embroiled in one crisis or another, but I'm determined to protect my peace. PIECE. And then Veteran, I keep reminding myself we do this because others can't, because we love this city. If we don't save it, no one will. And then Legionnaire, the 10th is under heavy attack, but it's being handled. I sent Maliva. And Tajik said that. Remember Tajik?
Yeah.
So that is cool that Maliva's been built up since 18? She had a card in 2018, a card in 2019, and then the Legionnaire in 2022. And now, here at the beginning of 2024...
Yeah, worked her way all the way up to detective.
Yeah, she's becoming a detective and getting a name and protecting literally everyone, which is what she's been wanting to do this whole time. That's really cool. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate the little story there. Want to recommend the Bubble Smuggler in blue? Are we allowed? Because that doesn't sound... That sounds kind of, doppelgang mana cost. Oh, it's an octopus fish. All right. So for 1 and a blue, it's a common octopus fish. It's a 2/1, and it has disguise of 5 and a blue. So, that's fancy morph. So you can turn it up for 5 and a blue, and as Bubble Smuggler is turned face up, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Woo! Yeah. That's that's a pretty good common morph creature there. Mm-hmm. And the flavor text says, by the time they noticed the missing vials, Glovax was 3 fathoms away. It's because he's a bubble smuggler. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why you wanted us to read that. It's just... That's just fun to say.
Mhm.
The wording is pretty. What do you mean? As it's turned face up. I mean, it's pretty standard for. There's no time when someone can shock your smuggler when you unmorph it. Well, yeah, because unmorphing doesn't use the stack, right? Does that ability
Well,
use
if
the
it was
stack?
the actual turning face up, what Razorback's saying is that if it was a triggered ability, when it's turned face up, put counters on it, someone would be able to respond by killing the
Oh, it's
smuggler
as.
when it was still small.
Oh, I did not notice the as. Okay.
Yeah. That's to prevent feel bads when you turn it face up and someone responds.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask if Dirk if he was smuggling bubbles, but he took the dog out. Never mind. So you're right. That is neat. I like that. Very, very simple way to keep you from swearing at people. Well, I get the feeling Dirk's gonna need to go soon, and it sounds like we're losing Mike.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty sleepy all of a sudden.
All right, let's do one more. Fuji requested Relive the Past in multicolored. And then we'll call it a night. How's that?
All right.
I cannot find the R's. Oh my god. Nope. Oh, there it is. All right. All right there, Sleepy Boy. Why don't you tell us? Hey, I just got through. I just posted the odds and ends where you actually dozed off and were snoring at the end of the call. Or at the end of the show, rather. It was pretty good. It's all right. What's that do, Mike?
All right. This is a green and white sorcery. It costs 5, a green and a white. It's rare. Return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, and up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. They are 5/5 elemental creatures in addition to their other types.
I was sitting here going, that's not worth 7. And then, okay. Suddenly it became worth 7.
Yeah.
I was like, get back an artifact, a land, and an enchantment. That sucks for 7 men. Oh, and they're 5/5s. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll do that.
If you're only able to manage 2, that still feels...
Still feels worth. Yeah. Wow. Oh, and the flavor text is from the Museum of Ravnican History. Many have tried to subjugate Ravnica. All have failed. All will fail. Damn. Nice bit of propaganda in the Museum of History.
Yeah, it's a little out of their lane there.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, Fuji says it's great if the enchantment grants creatures haste. Why are you like this? That's brutal. I like that. But Hey Dirk, we just read Relive the Past in multicolored.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks like fun.
Right? All right then. Well, should we call it then since it's late and Mike's dozing off and Brian already left and Dirk's about to fall out too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So how's about we do some Brian's gone. 404. How about we do some final thoughts then and then call it?
It's good. I guess my final thought. So I've been helping out with my school's swim team, and I don't know if I mentioned it last week or anything like that, but we had our conference meet, and our swim team took first place in men and women's overall in conference. So they are first place.
Nice.
And we are seated really high in regions as well. So that's going on Saturday. which is the reason why I won't be there to do more dorky stuff on this weekend, is because I will be at the regional championship that's coming up. So yep,
That's pretty
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to it. Do what?
So that's pretty awesome.
It is. This is my first year helping out with swim, and so it's been very educational. The coaches are really great, and so it's they had talked about that this was probably going to be their last rodeo, and I'm like, oh, I can't take it over because I still got little kids, and I mean I can't even stay for a whole practice. I come in and I have to leave about halfway through practice. But I have no problem helping out whoever will be the head coach next year in, running a practice, putting stuff in, things of that sort, and helping with decisions. But
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, I can't take over like as head coach. I feel my services are much better at being an assistant.
Who knew that Dirk's school was so good at competitive not drowning?
Mm-hmm. It's rather funny that some schools have a history of being really good in certain sports, and the school I'm at is most known sports wise as being a wrestling school, and now they're really dialing into being a really strong swimming school as well. So someone had asked if I was a coach for the wrestling team, and my response was I probably would have if it weren't for the fact that there are like 11 wrestling coaches at the school, and me being a wrestling coach would not have made any difference whatsoever. So there's just no reason for me to be a wrestling coach, and I can't really stay after school for practices. Because of making sure I get my kids picked up and everything.
Children.
So it's one of those deals.
Nice.
But that's my final thought.
All right. Well, have a good night then, Mr. Sir.
Thank you very much, guys. You all have a wonderful night.
Thanks, you too.
You're not bossing me.
Bye.
Wait, is he bossing me?
Well, depends on whether you have a nice night.
Oh, that's... yeah, all right. I see what you did there, and I kind of hate you. Look, now I'm dying. What have you got then, Beardy Man?
Let's see. Oh, a few days ago, or maybe it was over the weekend anyway, we sat and watched Spinal Tap. It was Ashley's first time seeing it.
Nice.
Yeah, she really enjoyed it. And afterwards, I stayed up too late watching like the special features. I think there's more like special features footage on that DVD than there is like movie. But yeah, the part of the reason I stayed up so late was because the deleted footage, it just starts auto playing after you select the first one, and I didn't realize it until a few scenes in, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just watching this now. But yeah, like there were whole little there were entire scenes and even one or two minor subplots that they just cut from the final version, and I understand why. The stuff they kept was really funny, and the stuff they cut wasn't really necessary, but it was interesting to see some of that.
Nice. I think I've only ever seen This Is Spinal Tap like once, maybe twice, but it's one of those that I don't want to watch it too many times.
Yeah, before this, I think I also saw it just once, but there's a lot that sticks with you.
I will still never forget them getting lost backstage trying to figure out how to get out to the stage.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason that sticks with me is because there was some, I don't remember if it was an MTV thing or a VH1 thing or something, but there was something with a band where they were talking about how realistic that is.
Yeah, there was I remember something like that in a VH1, like it was like top 100 metal moments, whatever.
Maybe that was it.
Special that I think my brother and I got our aunt to tape for us off of cable one time. And yeah, the release of Spinal Tap was one of those moments, and they had clips interviewing people, and yeah, there were a couple bands that were like, "Oh, there's so many things in that movie where you watch it and it's like, oh my God, you remember when such and such happened to us?"
Maybe that was what I watched too then. I just remember that stuck with me. That's actually what made me seek out the movie and watch it. Because I'd heard of it, these go to 11, like everyone knows that bit. But
Right.
It was that, whatever it was that I watched, the actual real musicians talking about it, that I was like, I must find this film and watch it.
Yeah. I've seen None More Black pop up here and there too.
Wait, what?
None More Black, when they're talking about the cover to the record.
Oh yeah. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna have to see if it's streaming anywhere. Damn it, Mike! What have you done?
I don't know. I remember a few years ago we tried to see if it was streaming anywhere and it wasn't. So we finally got it, like a DVD copy. And then just recently we finally got around to watching it together.
All right, this is Spinal Tap is currently streaming on AMC Plus. Huh. Who has AMC Plus?
Huh.
Anyone out there listening, if you have AMC Plus, why? That's a legit question. I want to know what's on AMC Plus that would make people pay for it. Anyway. And Renee and I had dinner with Mike and Ashley one night over the weekend.
Yeah, that was nice.
And we ate at a place called Kava, which Ashley described as, it's like Chipotle, but with Mediterranean food. I didn't realize she meant it literally was Chipotle, but with Mediterranean food.
Yep, that's what it is.
It is, yeah. So if there's one near you and you are unsure about Mediterranean food besides like chicken souvlaki, then you should totally try it out, because I don't know what the hell was in the thing I got, but it was delicious. It was like delicious. And I ordered a pre-made thing. I'm like, give me I think it's called the spicy and sweet chicken pita or something. And Renee just pointed at stuff. She got a bowl and just like, give me some of that and some of that. Is that spicy? Give me some of that and some of that. And just a bunch of that just in a bowl. And she said hers was really good. So, hashtag not sponsored, but, Kava, if you want to throw some money at us, I'm just saying. But yeah, branch out. Try different food. Don't get stuck in a rut. Look at me. I'm in a rut. Like, literally, I'm trying to move my chair, but I've actually got ruts in the carpet because my chair sits in this exact same spot. But anyway, I guess that would be my final thought. But hey, don't forget, patreon.com/themanapool. I'm almost completely caught up on the odds and ends, which is the behind-the-scenes stuff that's recorded before and after the show. Mm-hmm. As counting this episode, there are only 5 left that have not been posted. I'm about to be caught up on odds and ends for literally the first time ever.
That's great.
That is awesome to me, because that's been weighing on me for literally years. So yay. Then I can go back to the Lord of the Rings project and the figuring out the rest of the fine details for the charity stream. Which, now that it's February, I need to get on, because it's only a month and change left before I'm going to do that. Because the charity stream, don't forget, Chivos for Charity, it's going to be sometime in March. Once I narrow it down, I'll be posting it everywhere, so don't worry. But all right then. Well, with that... Oh, I need to read the Mythic Lifeguards. I forgot that part. So, hey, let me thank the Mythic Lifeguards. Al, Timu Hellas Haru, Scuzzo, Michael? What the hell is that? John Parker, Andrew Odie, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jake Jansons, Jason Doan, Kim Ho, and ALK Alters. And, of course, all of the lifeguards at all of the tiers, and all of you listening or watching or what have you. Seriously, though, do you have AMC Plus? Why do you have AMC Plus? I'm genuinely interested in this. So, with that, this has been episode 696 of The Mana Pool. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and choose silence. Or don't.